All right, so today I'm going to talk about my three biggest mistakes that I made on my music journey. And I'm going to give you guys some insight. So hopefully you guys won't go through the same thing I went through. So let's get to it. All right, so as you guys know, I made this channel to have like some candid conversations without any cuts or breaks. And that's what I'm going to do today. So hopefully I don't mess up too much, but I want to kind of break down what are some mistakes that I made starting out in my music career that I hope you guys will never have to go through. Now, I've been on this music journey for 25 years now. I had my first like major success in 2007. And then from there, I've had a lot of good milestones, and I had my biggest record in 2015. I made it in 2014, but it became a big record in 2015. And it's a song that's called Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nay Nay by Silento. Huge record, diamond record, and it's taking care of me right now. So I don't regret making that, but there's some mistakes I made along the way, and I just want to give you guys a little insight, and hopefully this will help you out. So my first mistake that I made starting out in music is I did not learn the business of music the way I should have. When I first started out, all I was trying to do was make beats and make music, and I wasn't really trying to worry about things. And I missed out on a lot of good situations because I did not learn the business of music. Making music is one thing, but learning the business of music is something totally different. And there's a whole bunch of talented people out here. Like it's a ton of talented people out here that are really dope that do not know the business of music. And that's why you see a lot of people who are super talented never make it, because they do not know the business of music. And it took me some time, but once I kind of, messed up a few times, I kind of learned every time I messed up. And I'm glad I'm in a space right now because people can't really get over me like that, because I know the business of music and I can pretty much like sniff out anything that just ain't right. But that's the number one thing. I should have learned the business of music, because even with my first like big record, I didn't know the business of music, and I lost out pretty big on that record. But I kind of look at it in a different sense, because if I did, know what I know now, and I did get the money and stuff that I, could have had back then while I was young, it might be a different Bolo right now. But I'm kind of glad things kind of went the way they went. It was a big learning experience, but over the years, I've learned a lot about the music business, and now things are much smoother. So when I do certain situations, or whether I don't do certain situations, it's because I have a better understanding of the music business. So I learned about contracts. I learned about percentages. I learned how to get paid. I learned what to look for in certain situations that could either help me or hurt me. So a lot of that stuff I learned over time. I learned about publishing. I learned the right way to get paid, how to collect my money, where to go to get my money, how to get in touch with certain people if you cannot get a hold of certain resources, whatever. A lot of that stuff I had to learn, and it took me some time, but it all worked out. So what I will stress to you guys right now is don't make the same mistake I made and not learn the business of music. You have to learn that. It is very important. Okay, so it's the business of music. The second biggest mistake that I made was, and it kind of bounces back to the business of music, the second biggest thing was not having an attorney when I needed an attorney. And I mean a good attorney, okay? I'm not just saying any type of attorney. You need a good music or an entertainment lawyer that can get your contracts done, okay? And you need a good entertainment lawyer just in case if anything happens. So say, for instance, if you make a song and somebody runs off with your song and the song ends up blowing up and getting big and you had a part in the making of that, you need an attorney to fight for you to get your just due. And over the years, I kept blowing it off in the beginning, like, nah, I don't really need no attorney. I can just read a book and I can do everything on my own. But those contracts are very, very like intricate. They're full of a lot of things. And if you don't know what to look for, you'll be toast out here. Okay. Just having a certain comma in a certain place or a certain sentence structure can really mess up your whole music career if you don't know what you're looking for. So I wish I would have hired an entertainment attorney a lot sooner, because ever since I hired my entertainment attorney, everything has been going much smoother over the past 10 years. Okay. Before that, I did have an attorney, but my attorney right now, he's the dopest ever. He gets to the bread. He represents a lot of people, a lot of high-end clients, and I'm just glad that I'm on his roster. But yeah, you got to hire a good entertainment attorney. And I'm not talking about somebody who's just an attorney. Like, you cannot hire an accident attorney to be an entertainment attorney. It doesn't happen like that. You need to find you somebody who's preferably in a big market, maybe somewhere like New York, LA, Atlanta, Houston, Miami, stuff like that. You need those type of entertainment attorneys that are in the mix, in the music mix. And usually they represent a lot of clients in that area and, pretty much worldwide, really. But you want to find really high-end music attorneys to look over your stuff and to make sure that you're getting your just due. And that's what I didn't do. And I lost out a lot. I lost out a lot by not having the right entertainment attorney. But now I'm good. Everything is good. Number 3. This is probably one of the biggest mistakes ever, is relying on people to do things for you that needs to be done. Okay? That is the number one thing. Okay? Because what I was doing was I was relying on people to take care of my business, and I was relying on people to take care of stuff that my lawyer should have took care of. And I was relying on people to basically run my operations. But we all know that nothing's going to run right the way you can run it, in a sense. So I was putting a lot of trust and a lot of faith in people to do things that they just were not qualified or equipped to do. Okay. And what it did was it basically staggered my whole career, because if I would have done things and not been lazy, if I would have done things myself and went and pursued certain people like my lawyer, or would have went out to learn the proper, business of music, I probably would have had a bigger career, before I had my biggest record. So I try to say that it's cool to have people to help you. Don't get me wrong. It's cool to have people to help. Everybody's going to need some type of help. However, you need to always, if you have somebody that you trust, that you think can handle a certain situation, you are going to have to learn how to micromanage that situation. And I know people don't like to be micromanaged, but this is your music career and you have to be that person. You cannot be the kind person that says, oh man, you go ahead and handle that. And then if it doesn't work out, it is what it is and this, that, whatever. No, you cannot do that. You have to be somebody, when you give somebody a task, they're thinking in the back of their head, man, if I don't get this thing right, man, he's going to be upset, this, that, whatever. You have to be that micromanager. You have to micromanage every situation that you do in music, because I'm telling you guys right now, if you don't, it's all going to go to hell, because people are not going to move the way you want to move if you're seriously trying to do this. Okay. So I was putting my trust in a lot of people, and those same people right now are not even doing music right now. A lot of these people I don't even talk to anymore. And I was trying to put my music career in their hands, which was the wrong thing to do. And I know a lot of you guys know a person who knows a person who knows a person that can help you out with this. Nah. If you're trying to get to a certain artist right now, it's like one of the easiest times to get in touch with certain artists. Now, there's some artists that you just can't get a hold of, but with the whole internet and with stuff with IG and TikTok and everything with social media, it is very easy to get a hold of a lot of these people. And, basically before they get big. So if you see somebody kind of bubbling, you can actually kind of go to them. If you're trying to meet with a certain person in the industry, there's ways you can meet up with these people. They may want some money, but at the end of the day, there is ways of getting to these people much easier than it was before. So if you're trying to, find an attorney or something like that, you need to do that yourself. Now, if it's somebody who tries to refer you to somebody, yes, take the referral, but see what this person is really like. See what their attorney is like. See what they can really do. Say, for instance, somebody comes to you with a business plan or whatever, and they say, hey, I think you should do this. I think you should do that. Instead of you saying, hey, you go and handle that 100% and I just do this. And, that's the way it's going to work. No, they still can handle it, but you still need to be on them like, hey, did this happen today? What are we going with this? How is this going along? Whatever. You have to be very active when it comes to that, because when you put your music career in somebody's hands, you're taking a risk that they either going to do right or they're going to do really bad. And so a lot of times what I tell people right now is don't put your faith in people. Okay, some people seem like they can be trusted beyond all measures, and they play that role. And even sometimes they think they're doing what you told them to do, but really they're just not doing enough to really get you further along. So a lot of times, like I said before, I tell people, if you have somebody in place or if you need to get something done, a lot of times it's best that you go out and do it yourself. Or if you have people working for you, you make sure you micromanage that situation to the T. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds weird. I know it doesn't seem like you should have to be breathing down anybody's necks, but I'm telling you from experience, you're going to have to micromanage those situations. Now, that was just 3 things. Now, there's more things that I can talk about, but of course, I'm not going to sit on here and be talking for a whole hour because I can. But I just want to tell you 3 things that I made a mistake on early on in my music career that I don't want you guys to go through. Okay? So learn the business of music, get a lawyer, and take control of your situation. Do not leave it in the hands of anybody else that is not capable of handling it. All right. Now, you still have to make music. You still have to do everything else. I understand that. But in this day and age, how everything is moving, you have to know what you're doing and you have to safeguard your situation just to make a little bit of money in this game, because it takes so much to make money in this game. And that's going to be for a whole nother video for us to talk about. So I hope you guys enjoyed what I was saying. Hope you guys learned something from it. And like I always say, peace out.